Okay, I don't have my thing anymore that I was gonna do for the joke for starting it, so you can go. I was just gonna start it off by cracking a Red Bull, but I already drank it.
Oh,
So
yeah. Yeah, that's fair. You can crack me. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Try Hards podcast. My name is Jeany.
what? My name's
His name's
Poky.
Poky.
Don't start within the
Uh,
last episode.
true. Now it's really tempting to do that.
In the last episode, we talked about Pokemon,
In the
technically.
last episode, oh yeah, no, that would have been the last one they released. You want to talk
Yeah,
about? No, we'll get into that later.
you'll get into that later.
Um,
But
so welcome back to the Try Hards podcast, the podcast that we record on a now semi-regularly basis because Tay told us to,
yeah,
and we just talk about random shit that we got going on in our day-to-day life,
yeah.
including the masterpiece that is currently behind us. For those watching the video podcast, if you're listening to the audio podcast, you're not going to see the great, wonderful Jake, Paul, and Shrek. Um,
We set this up after the last podcast recording, and
we did.
we were upset because I was like, man, we should change the background to something, and we changed it to. I set up this on like just on a whim,
And
and it looks so good to me that I'm just like,
it
we're
is
keeping it.
it is the funniest fucking thing. It is the best picture I've ever seen of Jake Paul, like ever. And then obviously we gotta have Shrek. Shrek is a need in the
Yeah,
backgrounds of these podcasts.
Shrek has always been in the background. Actually, if you look back at our old videos before we started doing the on the outro cards, the background pieces where we have them now, where it's per game, it was Shrek in the background.
Yeah, when it was just the for each, like in the early Xenoblade days, it was there for sure. You can see Shrek just in the background.
Yeah, it's
It was
very
it was
faded, but it was there.
honestly it was great because I forgot that we had that until one of the later episodes of Xenoblade that we uploaded before the hiatus. I had noticed it was there during the editing, and I just fucking lost it. And I think I messaged you, and I was like, "I forgot we did this," and then I sent you the picture, and you also forgot for a second until you
And
looked at it.
fucking looked at it and lost it as well.
Yup.
We've been doing a lot of recording actually. It's been weird.
It's been very weird. It is, I don't know. It's one of those things where we'll do like a bunch of recordings like during a week, and then we won't record for a week or two. Or at least I won't. You'll record a fuck ton because you do
2 channels.
multiple uploads a day at this point now.
It's not
Like,
multiple a day. I'm
well,
not there yet.
you were talking about doing that earlier.
I
Um,
there is a chance I will be doing multiple uploads a day pretty soon, but it's I'm
mhm,
waiting until the current secondary series finishes out, which I think is this
yeah,
week. Shit, I'm gonna need to record it before I start playing Code Vein, so I have time to play that
true. Yeah, because Code Vein 2 is releasing
next weekend.
in, is it oh shit, it is next weekend.
It's
Oh
either I
god.
think it's either next weekend or the following weekend.
I think it's the following weekend.
Okay, I have time then.
I'm
Next
hoping it
weekend's
is
Arc.
because
Next week is Arknights though, which I'm gonna be playing the
yeah,
fuck out of.
I'm hoping it's next week. It's the weekend after next because I actually won't be available next weekend
Oh,
to play that. Like I won't be able to play it day one.
oh no!
I'll be visiting family for Christmas. We're gonna be celebrating Christmas then.
You're finally doing Christmas with the fam.
We're finally doing Christmas with the fam.
Christmas in January. Oh, you know what? That makes me sad that you didn't get to hear the Schlatt vinyl yesterday.
Yeah. Oh well.
We played the
I
Schlatt vinyl
came.
while we were waiting.
Yeah. Then came back to One Shot and was very confused.
It was so
Uh,
beautiful.
it was very beautiful. One Shot is a great soundtrack.
It is. It's also very like etheric whenever you get like the beginning portions because the first track on that vinyl
Very.
is the
Yeah.
fucking title screen, and as you
Title
remember, the
screen.
title screen is like just
It is
ethereal
very,
music.
like, ethereal, yeah, you feel like if you close your eyes and listen to that, you literally like, at least for me, I feel like I'm floating in, like, a new plane of existence, is if that sounds like it makes any sense. I'm having a stroke.
I'm not surprised, dude. I've had strokes every single recording we've done, like at least
Yeah, that's fair.
once or twice. I had one earlier trying to make a joke, and I don't even remember what the joke was, but I just remember me just immediately screaming "fuck" right after
I
I
think
got done with it.
that was actually yesterday, that wasn't today.
No, there was
That was
one.
last
There was
night.
one today whenever I was playing, because I was playing the Neptunia, and I had another one.
Oh, I wasn't in here for that then. That would have been when I
That
was
must have been
gone
whenever you
yesterday.
took a step out.
Yeah,
I
that was whenever
I, I
I went to
just
make
I just said I give up. I give up.
I get that though. I have so many jokes and moments like that where I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. Joke's over.
Joke's over.
I'm
I'm
done.
done. I don't want to do this
No,
anymore.
I'm done. I'm done. Speaking of well, I don't have like a segue into that, but we're gonna segue into this because we want to talk about
Into
it.
our sponsor.
So we don't have a fucking yeah. This podcast is sponsored by Raid Shadow. No,
If we ever get a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship, I'm still not taking it unless they would have to
I
put a pretty substantial amount of money in front of
they
us.
would they would have to give us. I would say for me, like I don't want to say this and sound like picky because obviously we don't make money off of this shit. But if
No,
they
we
if
do this
they
for fun.
genuinely wanted to sponsor us, like if I were to ever take a raid sponsorship, it would be in the millions that I would accept.
I don't
Like
know.
I won't lie, I fucking despise that shit to a point where I'm like, no,
well,
you have to pay me enough money to where I could be comfortable to be unemployed for like 3 years.
yeah, and we say this being people who have 3 years, dude. I live off of like a fucking like hundredth of that. I would be fine. Um, I'd be fine for like the rest of my
Well,
life.
so here's the thing. I would have that money, and it would be like the money's burning a hole in my pocket. Like I need to spend some of it.
Yeah, I feel like
I
the
am
first thing
not
I'd
like
do is get a
I
house.
like to. Yeah. Oh yeah. I would absolutely like buy a house. Like
Like
first thing.
I would get to be one of like the few in my generation who gets to own a home.
I would be, I think, the first in my generation who's not like a crazy like scumbag like Jack Doherty over there. Like, I would be one of the few people who would actually get to own a home in my generation.
Fucking Jack Doherty.
Am I wrong? Jack Doherty. That's his
No,
name.
no, you're not. You're not. The last thing I saw about him was him getting into a car accident and his. I don't remember what car it was,
That
but him
was
just
so
trying to.
long ago.
That's the last thing I ever saw. But isn't he in prison? Is that something
He
that was new?
was. That was recent enough. It was like within the last couple months. He
Okay, then
he
that's the
went to
most
prison
recent
for
news.
he went to jail or something for a little bit.
Good.
The last thing I heard, and this could be old news, this could be recent news. I'm not sure, but it was the last thing I heard for sure. Was whenever he got into like a domestic thing with his girlfriend,
He
and
did
he
what?
like kicked her out. Um, it was something I mean it's alleged, right? Like I don't know
Yeah.
details, but
Everything
a
we say is
domestic
alleged and
call.
it is a joke and is for ironic
Yeah,
purposes.
it was a call that was
Except when
made.
I
I think it
bitch
was like a
about
disturbance
Pokemon.
call and or true. It was a disturbance call and or it was a call from the girlfriend,
Oh, I
but
did
it was
hear about
something
this.
domestic. And he kicked her out and then was like getting all in the cop's face on like you can't come into my property, but it was the cop was given permission by the girlfriend who was also on lease.
Yeah, and it's her home,
So
so she's allowed to be
therefore,
in
it
there.
would be her home. She'd be allowed to be in there.
With as much money as he's made, he's still leasing property?
Well, I don't know that it's a lease, but like she was on the document for whenever they purchased or
If
bought or whatever to the house.
if he is if he now this is just going off of if now if he's still leasing properties at this point whenever he's like buying these like multi-million-dollar cars, he's got his minds in the wrong place.
Well, so I think when he was younger, I think he bought property. But I don't think he has or like he lives in his own home. I think he's like bought his parents' house.
I mean, that's
But to be
nice.
fair, I'm also not sure. Like I know nothing of the kid. Genuinely. The only thing I know of the guy was whenever he used to do like the bottle flip things whenever like I was really young and he was therefore really young.
Was that like Vine stuff? Because that sounds like Vine era
It
stuff. Is that
wasn't Vine, but it was just after the Vine era. It was like 2016, I think, like a little over a decade ago now.
the worst thing Vine did for all of us
Um,
is die? Because it made all the
True,
Vine
dude.
people come all the way over
Because
to
if
us now, and now we got to deal with them on YouTube and all that shit.
here's my thing. I think the worst thing about Vine was that it died, but it was because then it brought up TikTok and or it brought up Musically and then TikTok, and that like kind of
It ruined our like entire ability to function for like multiple minutes.
it's yeah, it's made all of us have the attention span of like a fucking goldfish.
Yeah, which sucks. And
It's terrible, and
I'm like
I
just as
say that as
victimized of
someone
it. I'm
who's
still as
yeah,
big,
I
just a
say that
problem.
as someone who's affected by it.
Yeah,
Like, I have a terrible attention span. I cannot go more than an hour without looking at my phone.
it's it's awful, man. And like I've been seeing on said apps like people like posting pictures of like how the world used to be so much more colorful whenever people were looking around at it. And like ever since we've gone into like the social media and tech age and all that stuff, everything's just become flat and colorless, and it's all disgusting. And I just look back at it and I'm like, man, McDonald's used to have color to it. There's roofs that used to be red and yellow, and used to have play places and all of them.
Oh, I miss the play places, man.
And
They
now
sucked. They were the worst thing on the planet, but they were so fun.
it's just like you go to a McDonald's and it just looks like I entered a corporate office that hasn't
It
been cleaned in
does.
a month.
McDonald's is trying to, or not even just McDonald's, like, fast food companies or like anything like that where you're going in and out all the fucking time and people are going in and out all the time.
Yeah,
They're trying to modernize everything,
and
but
it looks worse.
it's modernizing the wrong parts.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
modernize the
they're
food.
modernize the food, modernize the architecture of the building for God's sake. This looks like a crack shack and you walk inside and it's just beep 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 beep
I should
everywhere.
not be able to hear all the beeping from all your stuff.
No. No,
And
you
like,
should not.
do you remember the fact that Wendy's, like, now their boxes and stuff are all red and brown and all that? Do you remember they used to have the
Yeah.
bright yellow stuff?
I remember when they had like the really bright yellow. I remember when it was like white, red, and blue, like bags,
Yeah, and then
like
the
all the
like the
time.
fried cups that were like a bright yellow color.
Yeah,
And now it's every wrapper is white, every bag is red
yeah. It's
and
weird, man.
brown.
It's weird and brown,
And
brown.
Burger King actually looks like a crack shack. Burger King looks the
Burger,
worst.
Burger King does in fact look like a crack shack.
I was
I
I was
I think the worst that I've been in, at least as of recent, was absolute. There's a chain, and I don't know if it's a Midwestern thing or if it's like specific to my state, but I don't think it's specific to my state. It's called Taco John's. They have, I think, the worst like interior design for a fast food joint ever.
you mentioned tacos. I just remembered this. Did you know Cookout made a fucking taco place now?
No,
There's
like the mother company cookout or
Yeah,
like
like
the
the like Cookout
okay,
themselves. There is a Cookout that is a taco place.
interesting.
It is only
That's weird.
serving tacos and stuff. And I heard about that, and I'm like, if it's anywhere nearby, I'm driving. I'm going. I
Yeah,
will
no,
try your
valid,
tacos. Your
very
quesadillas are
valid.
good.
I
I'll try
think
your tacos.
their quesadillas are really good.
Dude, their
I
food's just good. Only the
Their
butt
food
crack of
is
dawn,
really
like
good.
butt crack of dust though.
Yeah, you cannot like genuinely when you sent me that video, it was so accurate because never in my life have I seen a single human being go to a cookout in daylight.
The only reason you go in the daylight is to get a drink or a milkshake. You do not go for food.
Milkshake, yes, but you do not go there and be like, "Hey, can I get a burger?"
No, I
Like
have walked up
you're simply wrong.
like the Cookout nearby me still has the walk up where you can walk up. There's the menu there and all that stuff. And like I
Yeah, yeah,
will
yeah.
walk up straight up to it and just go like, hey, can I just have like a tea? Because I'm fixing to go like a walk or something, and I'm just walking past
Yeah.
there, and I'm like, I want a tea. Let me go get their tea. Most of the time, if you do that, they just give you it for free, which is nice. But I'm
Really? I didn't know
yeah,
that
I
actually.
just walked up there and I was like, hey man, can I just have a huge tea? He was like, that's it. Like, yeah, I don't want any food and anything. I like was getting out my card and he just closed the door, and I was like, and then he came back out with the drink, and I was like, here's my card, and he was like, no, just go. Cost us
Yeah,
nothing.
that's fair. Now, and yeah, to be fair, that is a thing, and it's I worked in like the gas station industry. Like obviously the gas station I worked at. I
Yeah,
mean, hell, it's a big chain. I worked at a Casey's for those in the Midwest. Um, I at least at my store, if you were just getting like, and we didn't do it with fountain drinks because fountain drinks like that they technically do cost us.
yeah,
At least for our company. But uh, if you just like want the cup, or if you want like a cup of ice, I would just look at you and say,
get
"Go.
out.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Just look at me, go get out.
Just
The
leave." Like,
Circle K
it,
nearby me does that too. There was actually a shooting up there not long
yeah.
ago.
Oh Jesus.
I just remembered that. That's within
Oh
walking
my
distance of
God.
my house.
Oh my God. Are is Maple okay? Fuck
Maple's
you.
fine.
Is Maple okay?
Maple's fine. Maple's fine. Maple's
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
Maple's
Cool.
actually running on his wheel right now, though quietly, which is weird.
That's weird. Are you sure he's okay?
Maple? Yeah, he's fine. He looked out of his house. He's actually not running on the wheel.
Oh, so he
That must have
was
been
on the wheel.
that
It
must have
was
just
just
been the
still spinning.
residual will of
Yeah.
it, like, just, like, still spinning, and he's just up in his house, he's like, "Hey, man."
That was the momentum. He was actually just taking a nap. He got tired.
He just taking a nap.
He was
I
taking a
want
little honk shoe.
I wanted to bring this up before we got off the Jack Doherty thing, because we were kinda getting,
Yeah.
like, YouTuber stuff. Um,
Yeah.
fucking have you seen the Logan Paul stuff with, like, the Pokemon card?
No.
Okay, so Logan Paul apparently owned. We're in another scam right here where he's stolen millions of dollars from people. Um,
Okay.
he owned a marketplace called Liquid Marketplace, which was supposed to be something where I could go up and list, like, let's say I had a first edition Charizard, because that's the only Pokemon card that I think you could understand is rare.
Like,
Um,
I understand Pokemon cards enough.
yeah,
But
where I
yes,
was like,
continue.
I list up this Charizard and I say that I want to list up 49% of its value. You, as
Okay.
a person, could go up and buy a portion of that and own a piece of it. And if I were to want to sell it, I would need to give you dividends from however much I sold it for in order to
Is
pay
this
you
like
back.
is this similar to like the you own like a portion of like the moon or like you own a star type of thing?
Yeah,
Is it
similar
like
type thing, but
similar?
it's Pokemon
Okay.
cards.
Okay. That's such a weird
Yeah. Also, the
like
owner of a star and a thing is
specific.
all complete bullshit. That is a
It is
huge
complete
scam.
bullshit.
Um, but he had a there's a Pokemon card called the Illustration Pikachu, which is a one.
Yes, I'm aware of this card.
There's like very few of them. And he has a
Yeah.
PSA 10 of it that he wears around his neck. Uh,
Yes.
and like has it in like gold chains and all that stuff. He
Yeah,
wanted
I've
to
seen it.
auction this off. He bought it back from the marketplace about a year ago, apparently. And there are multiple hundreds of people who have not gotten money from this, leading up to about a couple $1 million, to the point where I believe it's the Canadian government is now investigating him and the company.
What? Why is the Canadian government in on this?
I don't remember why, but I think it's because of the fact that it was either held in Canada or something like that. I just know one of them is like the government's after him right now for what's going on there, because it's a huge fraud, like huge amount of fraud, and
Why?
he's in some deep shit, and he's trying to auction it off again.
Okay. Okay. Here's my thing, all right?
Uh huh.
Logan Paul, Jake Paul, the Paul family.
Yeah.
Because of those two dumbasses,
Yeah.
that family has made more money than most, like, I would say upper class families in the US combined.
Yeah. It's
They
terrifying.
are rolling in it is terrifying when you really think about it. Why the fuck does like what goes through your head of I need more money? Let me commit fraud
Twice. We're still
twice or
dealing with fucking
actually
Crypto Zoo.
isn't it 3 times? Because whatever happened with the fucking
Dink doink.
yeah, Dink Doink.
I have no idea what happened to Dink Doink. He's also doing another crypto thing where he's selling like portions of clips from his WWE stuff. Like, he's doing a lot of crypto stuff right now that he
What
should
the
not be touching.
fuck?
And all of it's worth dog shit now, so people have lost a bunch of money. I haven't seen any updates on what's going on with him and CoffeeZilla right now. But yeah, he has now
I doubt we're
officially done
gonna get
fraud
updates.
again. All I know is that the last thing we've heard is that he keeps trying to have any data that gets like shown during this case, he wants it sealed. Problem is that he can't justify a reason for it to be sealed, and the only reason he wants it sealed is because the information in this can help another lawsuit that's happening, which is the
Oh
one where
shit.
everyone's suing him for the losses of CryptoZoo.
Right. Okay.
Because we've got the defamation case, which is requiring him to basically prove I didn't scam anyone. And then
Yeah.
you've got the other one where if they find out that there's even a little bit that shows that he did scam anyone, that other case gets to be pushed through really
That other
fucking
case gets
fast.
pushed through really fucking fast. Yeah.
Meanwhile, you got his brother up here getting his shit rocked.
Yeah, that's one thing I definitely did want to touch on this because I learned something recently with the Jake Paul scenario.
Yeah.
So I think the guy's name was Joshua Adams that he fought. I'm not too sure. I don't know too much about the guy other than that
Anthony
he's a
Joshua.
fucking hero. Anthony Joshua, that's what it was. Anthony Joshua, when they fought, or shortly after they fought, obviously his jaw completely fucked. He had to get jaw. He had to get surgery on his jaw, and I think he has anywhere from 4 to 8 titanium plates in his jaw now.
Yeah, it looks awful.
He looks terrible. However, a lot of how he looks is actually staged
I'm
and
not
makeup
surprised.
and publicity stuff because he wants to try and use the publicity gained by it to get a lawsuit to sue the guy for excessive force.
It's a boxing match.
Exactly. But he
It's
wants to
you
try and
went into
sue him for
this.
excessive force.
You went into the. Not only that, you have your brother who said he wants to fight him too. You
Yeah,
can't
well,
do excessive force. We've got on the documents that you apparently want to do this shit again. One of you two
also
is.
they have to also here's a big thing. Don't they have to sign like a waiver of like you cannot sue the opponent for
Yes.
excessive force in this? Yeah, like they cannot like legally they are bound to not be able to do that.
Yeah. And another thing, and this is not something that we're going to be able to have any like joyful conversations about. Unfortunately, Anthony Joshua was in a car accident not long ago.
Oh, that's what you were talking about.
Yeah, and it killed two of his friends in the accident.
Holy shit.
Yeah, two of them have unfortunately passed away in the accident, apparently, according to news on ESPN.
Does it have like I don't want to say it now, and so I'm gonna say in big air quotes allegedly, did it have anything to do with the fight?
No, it was in Nigeria, so it wouldn't have had any relation to it.
Oh,
I don't even know
okay.
why he was in Nigeria.
Damn. I mean, travel.
Yeah, that's fair.
He just made so much fucking money. I would travel.
Yeah, but he was injured in it, and two of his friends unfortunately passed away. Which is
Shit, man.
very, very, very sad.
That
Um,
sucks.
so that I did want to bring that up. I hope he's doing okay, and I hope the families are okay of
I
those who were
I
lost.
pray for everybody there. Like that. Even if like, and obviously I say this like that dude's a fucking hero because fuck Jake
Yes.
Paul. But even if it was in relation to like the Paul brothers or anyone like that, like I don't want to wish harm on someone.
Yeah.
And so I would feel like I wish everyone a speedy recovery. I feel very sorry and I pray for the families and all that. Like
I
that
will
sucks.
provide
That
some updated
sucks.
news that I just now got now. So the crash happened on January 2nd, according to what I have found here, which is
Okay.
15 days before we recorded. As of 1 week ago, the driver who caused the accident has been arrested. And
Okay.
as of a day ago, Anthony Joshua is back at the gym training.
Hell yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
he is doing his best now.
Yeah. I
But I
mean,
did want
you
to bring
gotta
that
do
up.
what you gotta do for
I did
that.
want
That
to bring that up.
sucks,
Yeah.
man. That really sucks.
Can we move on to something that doesn't suck and go ahead and talk about what we did before we recorded?
Yeah, so let's go ahead and I was struggling so hard for this entire podcast to figure out a way to segue
To
into
try
this.
and
We just
end.
finished watching we just finished watching Frieren season 2 episode 1 because at the time of recording that came out yesterday.
I
Um
I still love this show. I
that
was
show
so
is so good.
happy.
It reminded me so much of the reason I love Frieren, and I was this is what I was going to say whenever I said I'm gonna save this for the podcast.
Yeah.
It reminded me so much of what I love about Frieren, which was it is a show chock full to the brim of establishment shots or a fuck ton of frankly unnecessary world building.
That doesn't feel
But
unnecessary
but
because of how beautiful it
but
is.
it doesn't feel unnecessary because it's paired so well with amazing visuals, frankly, characters that you fall in love with from day one.
Yeah, there are still
It's
people who love
full
that psycho
of
chick.
oh yeah, I mean I do. Well, why?
I'm not even surprised.
No, like you know me, that's my type. But like the
I don't know if I've had
and
one that
not
would be
even to
my type in a
mention,
show.
not even to you have, but we'll get into that later. It,
I don't remember this.
the music. The music
It's
is
so
what gets me
beautiful.
with that show. The music, just the overall sound scoring of that show is fucking amazing. And that is one of those shows where I absolutely want to get like a sound bar at my setup and just watch that show.
And just sit down and have the music playing at the same time.
And just sit down, have the music playing, listen to like the sound effects, like the sound design of example being in the episode. Now, I'm gonna try to not spoil as much as I can in the episode because I mean,
Yeah, go watch
frankly,
the
it
episode.
wasn't
Go watch the
go
show. It's
watch
so
the
good.
episode. Go watch the show. If you wish to watch it or haven't watched it yet, you can pause now and or skip ahead God knows how long. I won't ask you to put it in the video because that's way too much fucking work.
And I won't remember it. I won't
And you
remember
won't
that.
remember it. You will not remember it one bit. But spoiler warning here.
Just in case.
In the episode when Stark like swings his axe at the stone,
Yeah.
like I do not have bassy headphones. I do not. You know
No,
this.
you
My
have headphones that are very much not bass.
very little bass. If not, like they have bass, but very little.
I should do a
I
video on
could
your headphones.
I could feel the rumble from like the sound design of his axe hitting the the stone. And it wasn't like I could feel the bass rumble, but they've designed the sound in such a way to where it's very audible no matter what kind of soundscape you have in your headphones
It was
or whatever you're listening through. It's so like well done. It's insane.
I fucking dude. I'll be honest. I'm just really happy the show's back. I've been waiting for so long. Although I did get my moment of yelling whenever I saw Madhouse was working on it because you fuckers won't give me No Game No Life season 2. Never getting it. We're getting an album this year, but I'm not getting that season again. I'm getting a digital album for the fucking characters, but I'm not getting that.
I want to say that you will, but let's face it, you won't. You won't.
I have the books for a reason. I'm gonna sit down and read them and have to figure out what happens from there.
Yeah.
And it not have a fucking coin flip because I refuse to believe that coin flip is in the fucking show or in the in the book.
I guarantee you it is. I guarantee it.
I wouldn't be
that
surprised.
Bullshit made no sense, but I guarantee you it's there.
It's fucking bullshit. Anyway, back to Frieren.
Well, I don't really know what else I want to touch on with Frieren
because I don't want to get into too much of spoilers.
I don't want to give into too much of spoilers, but also like there wasn't enough spoilers to talk about because with that show, you have the hype moments. Like we had the flashback scene where you got to see like Stark's master. I don't really remember the guy's name. You see like Stark's master being a Chad and tanking everything.
Fucking like, that was a good shot. Also, just the flashbang from the mage crystal or the anti-magic thing.
Dude, I again, that's another example of how well they do like establishing the world and all that. Like you saw before in the early part of the episode how bright that shit got in broad daylight. They were in a cave, a rather dark cave, dark enough to where Frieren could pass the fuck out comfortably.
Take a nap, eepies.
Take big ol' honk shoe, right? Imagine how fucking bright that was, dude.
I didn't even think about the fact that they were in a dark cave, so it went from dark
to hello. They were in a dark cave, so it went from dark to hello. Like it was gone. Their eyesight was gone.
But I mean, he did exactly what he needed to at that scene and just fucking bolted.
He fucking bolted. Now, I will say, I don't know if it was a continuity error or if it was like if it was something, and we did talk about it throughout the episode, but I want to bring this up to see if anyone else notices it. In that scene, whenever they're like running away from the giant lizard, you see him drop his axe, but then 2 scenes later, it's on his back. Now, I don't know, and we were talking about this, and I think that it's very possible that he like dropped the axe and just grabbed like the strap. But I personally think it's a continuity error of he dropped it, but then he has it again. Now, we could be completely misremembering things. For all we know, like I brought up, that weapon could be conjured magic.
Yeah.
That was just created by Frieren or Fern. But I'm not sure if that would be the case.
That would explain why whenever he slammed it against the crystal, it didn't break. If it's conjured magic. But if it's conjured magic, also it would have disappeared.
It would have disappeared, and that was the whole point, was like they trusted him with their lives in that moment. And it's like, why would you trust someone with your life whenever he has a weapon that won't fucking work?
Yeah. Especially against, crystal.
Or lizard.
We also had a gentle conversation there about just like one of the things that I really like about this show is the fact that it does not lean like almost at all into fan service. Like, because we mentioned this all during
it is very modest.
Yeah, we mentioned this during the scene where Frieren goes into the bush and then as well
Yeah.
during the bathing scene.
Yeah.
Where like in most animes, a
Which
bathing scene
now
would be
now
like a
on
big
paper,
thing.
yeah. Yeah, bathing scene, it's like big thing. It's like you see nothing but Yiddy's ass. Like it is full fan service. Yes, I said Yiddies, fuck you. But like it is full on fan service, and they are not trying to hide it or doing very minimal to hide it.
Yeah,
This show, like you see the bathing scene and it's like, oh, they're wearing like gowns
yeah,
and
or like
that's it.
bathing gowns and
And
that's it.
like
And it was like,
and that
but
there
yet
is
it makes
nothing
sense.
like they are not catering to fan service. They're not showing anything off. It's just that they're just vibing.
I did like whenever Stark just walked out, the fridge
He
just went
turns the
etchy.
corner, she just goes, pervert.
It's just etchy.
That will never not be funny.
That was so
Like
fucking funny.
I love the dynamics between those characters, and I liked seeing the more gentle sides of them in the episode where it was, going between is Stark uncomfortable with us? Like, should we let him go do his own thing if he wants to be more free? And he like fully opens up to Fern, and he's like,
I
I
ain't going nowhere.
want to be here. I ain't going nowhere, bro.
And then,
Like
then
obviously,
she just looks at him.
paraphrasing a fuck ton.
Just fucking looks at him like,
And then
let me
and
pet
then the
you.
fumble of the century, bro. Like I'm sorry, but I would have smacked the dog shit out of Stark if I was there. Like, bro,
Bro, you missed the
you
opportunity of a
fumbled so
lifetime.
hard. He fumbled so hard, bro. Oh my
Let me pet you.
god.
What the fuck?
Let me pet you, and then he backs up. What do you mean, bro?
What are
I'm
you
like, all
doing,
right,
bruh?
bet. All right, the fuck, bet. I'm in there, bro. I'm in there.
Um,
Respectfully, of course.
respectfully. Another thing I
Respectfully,
wanted
I'm
to
in
bring up
there.
that because we did mention
Yes.
this as well during the shows. Figures.
Oh yeah.
Talking about some of our favorite figures and stuff from the show because I've seen a couple of them that I really liked. This also came up during the fan service conversation where the only like official fan servicey figure that it's even like not even really fan servicey is
The Frieren and the
Frieren, yeah, Frieren getting stuck inside of the mimic.
Yeah.
And that's
Which,
like the
to be fair, I don't think you would classify that as fan service because that is just the icon of the show.
it is
Like
it's
it's not
100%
it's
just
not
the
the
icon of the
logo,
show.
but when you think of the show, you think of Frieren being stuck in a mimic because it
Yeah.
happened so many times in season 1.
Now the internet ran fucking wild with it, as they do with everything.
Well,
But
they do that all the time. Anytime a mimic is shown, there is like when Delicious in Dungeon had a mimic in it, there was
I need
immediately
to
the
watch that
same
still.
thing. I do need to watch the show, but I know a little bit of it.
But one of my favorite things about it is that most of the figures they release are released in pairs, so they have like one that
Yeah.
matches with it. So like there's one of Fern sitting down with her legs over to the side. There's a Frieren figure that works to lean on her.
Yeah.
Or like my favorite one is still and I'll see if I can find a picture of it. I will probably forget to put it up on screen, but the Frieren and Fern, or not Fern, Himmel figure with the two flower crowns is just such a beautiful
that figure is so pretty.
Um,
Like I want to get like I want to start collecting figures. Specifically, I want to get like statues to have in my room because I love the ideas of statues, just giant fucking things to have to represent things that I love.
um,
And I think I would love a Frieren statue. I specifically I would love to have like a rendition of the scene towards the end of season 1 where it's like the clay Frieren fighting everyone.
oh, I know what you're
I
talking
would
about.
love to see like that pose of like the floating Frieren like
There's
as a statue.
there is
I think
so
that would
many.
be gorgeous.
So I just looked it up because I wanted to get this picture. There is so many different figures of Himmel and Frieren together.
Yeah.
Including one where like she has her hand out and he's getting down and like holding her hand like he did for the ring scene.
Yeah, for the ring
Um,
scene. Yeah.
and the one I was actually thinking of, I was actually mixing two figures together. It's one of her in like a white dress and him in a tuxedo, and him just reaching out and taking her hand. That's one of my favorite figures. But also they do have one of them in flower crowns.
Yeah.
Which is just absolutely wonderful. But the reason I remembered the Himmel one is because the boxes for them also line up to make the single image together, and it
That's
just
cool.
looks wonderful. I also just realized
That's really
I have
cool.
a Frieren figure. I forgot about that.
You have a Frieren figure?
I have one of her. So I have a lot of the noodle stopper figures, the ones where you're supposed to put them on like a cup of
Oh,
noodles.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I
Yeah.
have one of her sitting down with a book. I have it command stripped to the top of my shelf. I will
Oh,
need
that's
to send a
cute.
picture of that.
Yes, please do, because that is cool.
Yeah, because I was looking up, I was like, I have a lot of Miku figures of that. Oh, hey, look, there's a Frieren. Um, I don't have any
Yeah,
Fern figures though, but that's because round one hasn't gotten a good one.
round one doesn't have like a lot of good figure options, at least not for like the newer shows.
Yeah, they did have a lot of Frieren
Now
stuff. Now they're getting
I
more.
will say, and I'm gonna use this to transition into the topic that you've been waiting for.
Oh,
Um, I do like whenever they have the like boxes or arts where like you put them together and they make like one solid picture. Examples being like, what were the gamer subs cards? The V cards, like where
yeah,
you
the
had
V
like the
cards were
big
nice.
art card. Those were really cool.
I
And the
actually have
one
something
to
about those that
transition
pissed
in,
me off.
well, you can get into that after I have the transition for you. The big old fucking alley oop for you here. Whenever they had the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon show up to be Mega
Oh,
Necrozma,
the Ultra Necrozma in the
Ultra
back of it.
Necrozma, yeah,
That was
yeah,
so
that was
cool.
really cool. That was really cool. I think that was like one of the last cool things that Pokemon did,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
my opinion.
yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah. I know why you're talking about an alley oop now. Okay. Okay.
You wanna
So,
you wanna start?
so from that, there's a reason that we uploaded that. The last was a re-upload of a rant that I
Of a
went
Poke
on
Do
with
2
Pokemon.
video.
Yeah, of a Pokédew
Yeah.
2 video. That's why there was Animal Crossing music in the background, because that is a Pokédew 2 like standard thing I do.
Yeah.
And I said in that video that I was having a lot of fun with Pokemon Legends ZA and all the rest of the other games, and I even went back and tried to play Scarlet and Violet. By the way, that game still sucks ass.
I believe that.
I
I
do not
100% do.
recommend buying fucking ZA at this point. If
You
you
don't
can
recommend
get it
buying
for
ZA?
if you can get it for like $30, you'd be fine with it. The
Mm.
only redeeming factor of that game, the only one, is the new combat style. The rest of the game. So at that point in the game, whenever we did that recording, I had just started. I had just bought it that fucking day.
It was literally you maybe played it for an hour.
Yeah, I played it for an hour. I enjoyed what I played of it that fucking day. I was expecting it to pick up down the line. We're gonna if you I'll be honest with you, this entire podcast, if you don't want spoilers on stuff, just leave.
Yeah, simply leave.
Um, and I really hope you don't, because I don't want you buying this game. So, Legends ZA, the big thing that I liked about Legends Arceus, which is my
Mhm.
favorite Pokemon game at this point, is that throughout the entire game, you're learning lore, you're learning stories, you're learning a whole bunch of stuff about the history of Sinnoh or Hisui or whatever you want to call it at that point in time.
Yeah.
Legends ZA takes place right after the events of it's a sequel of Pokemon X and Y, which is the only 3DS one that I played through that wasn't a remake, because I don't count Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Those are golden games. Um,
Yeah.
Legends ZA does not have any meaning to the story other than you're hearing that the tower is for some reason causing these outbreaks, which there's the outbreaks of Mega Evolution that you have to go through randomly. Basically, after every time you level up, you have to go fight 3 Mega Pokemon and get their Mega Stones, just for some fucking reason.
That makes sense.
And as a person who plays a lot of RPGs, I am currently playing through one of them, and I'm going to be playing through another. As someone who plays a lot of RPGs, forced battles are not my favorite thing unless it makes sense in the story.
Yeah.
Randomly shoving Mega Evolutions in the game does not make it make sense in the story. And this being the replacement for Totem Pokemon in Pokemon Legends Arceus, which in Legends Arceus you fought by basically Dark Souls style. You had to throw stuff at it and dodge out of the way of its attacks. That was the entire fight. And then
Yeah.
whenever you knocked it down, like think of it like I don't know what other games have this other than Neptunia, but the break bar in some. Actually, wait, doesn't Expedition have it? The break bar?
Expedition has one, yeah.
Yeah. So whenever you have the break bar, it breaks down. You stun the thing, then you can send out your Pokemon and do massive damage with that.
Mhm.
In Pokemon Legends ZA, you have to use your Pokemon the entire time. You are not allowed to throw anything at this boss. You are just using your Pokemon's attacks over and over and over and over, and then probably dying. But if you die, it's okay. You can hit the continue button and start right back from where you were with all your Pokemon at full health, because that makes sense. It's optional, but it's fucking stupid. And you have to do this so often that they had to cut out some portions of the level ups of the game. Because you start out at level Z and your goal is A. Your goal is to be, I want to be rank A. And at one point, you jump from like, I think it's like W or something like that up to F. In one fell fucking swoop.
That's a jump.
So the entirety of it is you going into battle arenas. These little like battle areas that have been marked out at night. Kicking people's asses. And then getting up a certain amount of points from doing random stuff during battles that you can pick up cards for, or going into the game, going in and just fighting everything until you have enough points. It can take even 2 to 3 in-game days if you keep doing it without having those cards. If you have those cards and you do those cards, it takes less time. But then you go and fight what is going to be the equivalent, this game's equivalent of gym leaders, which is the person who is for you getting to level up your rank. Some of these characters are really nice. I will never fault Pokemon on the fact that they know how to make characters that you will enjoy. I hate Scarlet and Violet by Iono was my favorite trainer. But you have to every single time. It's more and more points you need to do, so you need to do more and more fights, so it takes more and more time. And then after all that, you get another set of Mega Evolutions. And while I'm doing this, you're probably noticing I'm not mentioning a single fucking thing about the story, because this game did the same stupid thing as Sword and Shield and didn't have the story take place until the last fucking minute, where they realized, oh shit, we gotta figure out how to wrap this up. The ending is all done right after you become rank A. All of a sudden, everything just starts falling apart and you need to go to the fucking tower and send this tiny-ass flower Pokemon up to the top. But oh no, the corruption of Mega Evolution has taken over this flower Pokemon, which shouldn't be able to Mega Evolve because it's not a full evolution. It evolves past what it's in. So it shouldn't be able to Mega Evolve.
Wait, but okay, so I'm confused as someone who's seen a little bit of this game.
Yeah.
There's not a story at all until this point?
So the only thing you are told is that the first thing that happens whenever you start the game up is you are in a cutscene where you are seeing ZA, the guy who is the old dude in the game who owns Floette, which is the flower fuck that I talked about a second ago. He is looking at the tower and seeing the fact it's glowing red, and then they start building up like a wall to block off people from seeing it, because they're trying to contain this energy. And the only implication that you get that the story is progressing is that wall gets taller. There is nothing that tells you anything about the fucking story.
But what about the dog? Like the green and black dog Pokemon
You mean the one that shows up after the Mega Evolution fights and he just looks at you, barks, and leaves?
I thought there was like multiple fights with him.
No, and you never fight the dog. You fight the dog one time. You fight the dog one time.
What?
And then he hands you a Brock.
I've seen like three fights with him. What?
Yeah, you fight him, and then he hands you a rock. And he may do like a couple other fights that I don't fucking remember. Because this game was wholly unmemorable outside of like, very clearly I remember it heavily because of the fact I played it not long ago. I beat it not long ago. Because I was excited for this game. I thought it would get really fucking good. I expected Legends Arceus levels of good out of this at some point. But the world being so fucking small that it's smaller than a single like area in Legends Arceus really held this game back. They really should have kept to the Monster Hunter style of, hey, here's little individual worlds.
Yeah.
Because they really fucked it up. But you are getting like little pieces of stuff, but it's kind of like the same thing they did in Sword and Shield, where it's like, hey, here's a picture of what is called the Darkest Day, or here's a picture, or in this game, it's like, the Zygarde, which is the dog, is starting to like you, and you're finding like, and I'm looking for all these cells of Maple. Thank you.
For Maple cells?
I'm looking for all these cells of Zygarde because Zygarde in the dog form is like the smallest form he can be. And
Yeah.
they did this in Sun and Moon as well, where basically you can go around and find different pieces of Zygarde. There's 100 of them. So think of them as the Korok seeds
Gotcha.
from
From
Breath of the
Breath of
Wild
the
before
Wild.
Breath of the Wild was out. Because this actually came out first. Um,
Oh.
but the guy who you meet, who I believe is literally named L, and it turns out he's the old leader of Team Flare, which was the bad person in X and Y. Um,
Okay.
which I guess you do get a little bit of that because one of the fights before the last fight in the game is you, which is it's right towards the fucking end. Is you going into Team Flare's old base and getting to explore that, which that was really cool.
That's
I
cool.
thought that was
That's
cool
neat.
as shit. Well, because you find out that the last two people you have to fight are Team Flare's, old Team Flare henchmen, who are
Mhm.
like pissed off and trying to find their way through the city, but they don't want to do it their own way. And then they suddenly join your side, which is, yeah. Um, but you do get to explore the Team Flare base, which is nice. But then right after that, you're slammed right into the end of the fucking game. If there's one more battle after that, I don't care because it's the same fucking thing of let me go ahead and fight in this battle arena and then go up and fight this thing, and then all of a sudden you're rank A and the tower's falling apart because you let off this little flower fuck inside the top thing who mega evolves to try and contain the power. Turns out they can't contain all the power, and oh my gosh, they have giant spiky tentacle vines coming out of the side of the fucking tower now. Which then you find out, L finds out that he only has 99 of these cells, and it just so happens that the last Zygarde cell climbed in your fucking bag when you first showed up, and now jumps out and creates a little 100% Zygarde, which looks like a giant fucking mech. And it looks awesome, because Zygarde always looks awesome. At least it looks better than Eternatus, but it just leads up to a similar kind of thing. But at least in this one, your whole point of it is you're trying to get the little, basically it sprouts up two little flowers, and you need to take these down with your own Pokemon and knock them out. And once you get these flowers knocked out, then Zygarde can attack, and you get to control Zygarde to attack him, to attack
Mhm.
this giant fucking flower. And the final fight's really fucking cool for that, because your whole thing is just, okay, I need to use the skills I've used for Mega Evolution to take down this big thing. But it does the similar kind of final hit thing that a lot of the other ones, except for Legends EA, have started doing, which kind of ruins the fucking point. I don't want to have a
Yeah.
giant final move that I use that takes down this entire thing, and that's the whole thing that it does. Um, I want to be the one to take down this big fuck. But the weird part about it, and this was just weird to me, is after you do all this, one, they did release 2 mystery gifts. I'm very happy with them. We got Diancie, and there's some sort of store you can do for Mewtwo. I didn't bother going back
Mhm.
and doing Mewtwo. I got Diancie, shut the game off, and I've never turned it on since.
God.
But the weird thing about it is in Legends Arceus, you are learning about the Great Sinnoh and how it's thought of as being a different Pokemon depending on what region you're in. And these 2 Great Sinnohs turns out to be Palkia and Dialga, which are the box legendaries for the games that they're from, which is Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah. Yeah.
You do not see Yveltal or Xerneas anywhere inside of the fucking main story of the game,
Wait.
who are the 2
What?
box legendaries from X and Y.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen them in the thing, and I don't know if they're like a hidden thing that I need to go get, or if they're even in the fucking game. And to be 100% honest, I don't care. I don't want to touch this game again, because we haven't even gotten to the fact that since we did that first recording, DLC was announced and released for it. The DLC was announced before the even fucking game came out. So we knew there was going to be DLC before the game even came out from it, which means they had it fucking done when the game was out. They could have
Uh-huh.
just given us a post story instead of this shit. Which, by the way, the post story is just, guess what you get to do? You get to infinitely level up your rank. Have fun. That is the post story. That is the post game. It is an infinite level up.
I
You had any questions before I get into the DLC?
wh- so I have questions, but they're not questions pertaining to any of what you said. It's just a lot of but why though?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's the sad part is there's not an answer to the but why though.
It's because Nintendo.
It's well, I don't even want to say it's because Nintendo. I think it's because of the Pokemon Company.
Don't forget the Pokemon Company is 50% owned by Nintendo. Actually, it's
Yes,
33% because it's 30% creatures, 30% Game Freak, and 30% Nintendo.
so what was it? So is the Pokemon Company what makes all of the games, or is it like a COD where it goes between the three companies?
The only game that the Pokemon Company had no hand in was Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
Okay,
Those were made by the
so
same people who developed Pokemon Home, which is the online subscription service I have to
which is
pay every
why
3
you
months.
could have the Pokemon Home link to BDSP.
Well, yeah, you can link it to any of them. The only one you can't link it to right
Oh,
now is
really?
any of them. So they normally get an update at, like a couple months after the game comes out for you to be able to link it up.
Mm.
Um,
Oh, okay.
like you can even transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Go into Pokemon Home, which is how you get
That's
them into like
interesting.
your main thing. That's where I put all my Pokemon. Which is why they get
Okay.
$3 every 3 months from me, because I need somewhere to put all my Pokemon for my DS games because I don't have anywhere to fucking store them.
Ah, fair.
I used to store them on the cartridges, but you can't do that anymore.
That's another topic for another day.
Oh, we're gonna be bitching about more than just that. Okay, so I'm gonna get into the DLC now.
Okay.
I want to preface this by saying I've not fucking played the DLC. I will not
Okay.
buy this DLC. If they had released DLC for Legends Arceus, you would have had my money even if it was the same price as the fucking game. I'm not gonna lie. I would have taken
Mhm.
more of that game in a heartbeat, but that game ended off so beautifully that I don't need it anymore. For those of you who want to see how much I enjoyed that, go watch the Let's
Go
Play.
watch the LP. He did an LP. It
I
was
did a
great.
Let's Play of it because it's the only Pokemon game that I've had a lot of fun with in the last, like, 10 fucking years. So, let's start off by saying the DLC, the entirety of it, is you making sweets to give to Hoopa, who is a Pokemon who can summon interdimensional portals. And you give this
Okay.
Hoopa a sweet, and it causes it to summon some sort of interdimensional portal that has specialized Pokemon in it that may be up to Super Boss level, and you have a time limit to explore this fucking world before it closes off and you're required to get the fuck out.
Like like forever?
You can feed it the same sweet to go back in, but you start back at the beginning from what I can tell.
Oh, okay.
Um, but it's okay, because exploring this world is absolutely pointless, because the entirety of the fucking world is Lumina City, but in black and white. It's the same fucking world as ZA.
Are you fucking kidding?
It is not different at fucking all. There may be
Wasn't
like
this game in development for like fucking
years,
3 to 5 years, somewhere in that realm?
fucking years. It's been in development for 2 years. It was in development for the same amount of time as Scarlet and Violet, which tells you how much that game sucked.
Wow.
They took
I feel like they announced that way.
No, Legends ZA was
Way-
announced at the beginning of the year and we got it at the end of the year. By the way, we'll get to have another one of these pretty soon because Pokemon Day is coming up and that's when they announce normally the big games that are coming out. As a reminder, Legends Arceus was a 25-year anniversary and we're on 30. I'm old.
Holy shit.
I think it was 25. It may have been something else. I don't fucking remember. I just know it's been 5 years since Legends Arceus, which scares the fuck out of me. Actually, no, they announced it and it came out the next year, so it's been 4 years. I'm not that old. But fucking the entirety of it is just that. It's just you going around and going in each of these worlds, and there is some Pokemon that are you can get your Pokemon to be above level 100 for the first time, which is great. They can only be above level 100 inside of these fucking worlds, from what I recall. So it makes no sense. It does not change anything.
So let me get this straight.
Mm-hmm.
The DLC that was announced before the game came out
Mm-hmm.
has fucking nothing.
Yeah, it has extra Pokemon. You can catch Meloetta. The only reason I'd buy it, I've already got 4 of those fuckers. I don't need to buy it. I can get infinite of those fuckers because of the fucking DS, the 3DS still having access to it. If you have the ability to play Pokemon Black and White on a physical cartridge, you can just turn on the DNS servers for the mystery gift for Meloetta and get a Meloetta again, and then just transfer it to Pokemon Bank, which is now free and is the only online service that the 3DS is allowed to use still. And then that can be transferred to Pokemon Home. And then from Pokemon Home, you can transfer it into any fucking game that has Meloetta in it. Because as a reminder, ever since Sword and Shield, we do not have every Pokemon in every fucking game anymore. I understand why, because there's over 1,000 of them. That's a lot of data. Especially if they ever decide to like make these games have more graphical settings than just PlayStation 2. Which I've never bitched about Pokemon how it looks. In fact, I think
you're not there for how the game looks.
I'm here to catch tiny cute creatures and send them to do my bidding.
Yeah.
And I've never bitched about anything look-wise in Pokemon.
You're there to play Slavery, the video game.
But I would have rather had a game that looked like Legend Arceus again than deal with this fucking bullshit again. Now, granted,
that's just because Legend Arceus was gorgeous.
Legend Arceus was a gorgeous game that some people complained about, and I have another complaint to deal with in a second.
Okay.
That is not Legend Arceus. It's actually for my actual least favorite game of Pokemon now. Well, my second least favorite, because Sword and Shield still takes up fun.
I was gonna say it's
Legend, but so Legend ZA looks fine. It plays fine. For what it's worth, on the original Switch, it runs at whatever frame rate smoothly. I did not have a single stutter in the entire time of me playing that game. The only Pokemon games I've ever had stutters on is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which, by the way, if you want to fix your stutter, you can have a $450 DLC that fixes all the stutters in that game and makes it run beautifully, because the Switch 2 can run that game fucking great! So if you want to fix your Pokemon
DLC,
if you want to fix your Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, go buy a Switch 2. God, that console sucks.
Oh my god.
My PS5 purchase was mainly out of spite because of how shitty that fucking thing was, but also because I had Neptunia games to play.
I still can't believe you bought a PS5 before I did.
Do you know, but if you had a McKay's up there, I'm sure you would have gotten it too. You had a McKay's that would have given it for you for $300, you would have done it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the price I spent on the Switch. It's less than a Switch 2. It's less than the DLC to make Pokemon Scarlet and Violet run well.
That's so fucking funny.
That's what I wanted to bitch about. But I want to put down the Pokemon for a minute. Okay. I want to bitch with you for a minute about the state of Nintendo.
Okay, so I would like to preface the Nintendo topic by simply saying I am very unaware of all of the Nintendo shit going on that has made you upset and made everyone in like a very, very, very upsetty spaghetti mood at the direction Nintendo's going in. Because the only thing that I know about Nintendo and their recent decisions is their decision to make the physical copies of games no longer physical copies of games and make them all digital anyway.
Okay, I will need to explain that one for you.
I will need to explain that I know. No, that is the only thing that I'm aware of, at least to my knowledge. Now, you could absolutely awaken some very deep in the back of my mental, frankly, SpongeBob in a house fire look. Do you remember that scene where it's like the
where I'm blowing it out?
Like, yeah, and it's like everything's on fucking fire. That's my brain.
Yeah,
like all the time.
So I need to clarify that one because that one's misinformation. Okay. The physical cartridges do still have the games on them. In fact, for games like Kirby and the Forgotten Land, the Tears of the Kingdom, any game that has a Switch 1 and Switch 2 version, it has both versions on the cartridge. So if you buy the Switch 2 version of the game, expecting to get a Switch 2 in the future so you don't have to buy the DLC for it later and you want a physical version of the Switch 2 edition, you can buy the Switch 2 version of it and pop it into a Switch 1 and it works as a Switch 1 game.
Okay.
It is really cool. The only ones that are not on the cartridge are fully marked on the case before you even buy it that it is a game key card. Those ones do not have the game on it, but like all of the first party Nintendo games, I think I'm going to double check this before I say this. But all the first party Nintendo games have physical copies that are physical copies.
Okay.
and I'm gonna double check this real quick. Okay, so this is not one. This is an example of a bad one. Really? Okay. Bravely Default, which is a 3DS game that could have been ported to the Switch, one, to run fine, is a fucking game key card. So you don't even get it on the fucking cartridge. Reminder, Bravely Default 2, which is apparently a shit show of a game, is a Switch 1 title that was on the fucking cartridge.
Is this like the equivalent of if they were to give like now you can feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on this because I don't know too much about these games.
Yeah.
But would that be the equivalent of if they were to bring like Okami Den to the Switch but not give us an Okami HD like they did?
No, because it is an HD remaster. I'm a little confused on what you're asking, honestly. Are you saying like if they brought Okami Den over?
So I think this is where I'm confused. Is Okami Den a different game than Okami? Like is it still the same game or is it
It is an entirely different game. It's technically, I always thought it was a sequel, but apparently it's classified as like a secondary game or whatever the spinoff.
Yeah, but that's my thing that I was trying to say was like is if instead of giving us Okami HD like they did, if they just gave us a version of Okami Den on the Switch 1 instead of Okami HD, they gave us the
that is exactly
and not the
that is exactly what it would be like. And then if they gave us Okami HD, but it's a Switch 2 exclusive, and you have to have a game key card, you can't have a physical copy. Yeah, that is exactly which by the Okami HD doesn't have a physical copy anyway, unless you're on a PS5.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's a PS4 title.
I didn't even know that game was on PlayStation. I don't know.
Yeah, Okami Den HD is a PlayStation title. Or Okami
I thought they
HD.
were like all Nintendo.
No, so Okami is Capcom.
Oh, right, it's Capcom.
Yeah, Okami is a Capcom title.
Okay.
It's
makes
made
sense,
by the guy who we talked about earlier who blocks everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a PS4 title too, and it had a physical copy. Yeah, physical copy, which it's on the PlayStation, so it's not really a physical copy.
No,
I'm getting to experience that firsthand. But fucking, I'm taking a deep breath for a moment.
You're fine.
Before I dive straight into this shit, okay? Let's start off with the fact that since the Switch 2 has come out, okay, the Switch 1 went off with a banger of a first launch title of being Breath of the Wild. I may not like Breath of the Wild, but it's a banger way to start off your lineup.
Yeah.
And you launched fucking the Switch 2 with a fucking Mario Kart.
Well, they also launched the Switch 1 with a Mario Kart, because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came with the Switch 2 as well. Like, that was also a launch.
Did it come with the Switch? The original Switch?
Or, sorry, yeah. It came with the original Switch.
It came out later for some fucking reason.
I'm fairly certain that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was... Now, Breath of the Wild was the launch title, but it came out... Like, I believe Mario Kart 8 also came out at the same time, if not very soon after.
This looks right. Yeah, that looks right. Okay. So it was a launch title too. But that only makes this worse. That makes it worse.
That being the only launch title, though... Well, no, because Donkey Kong Bonanza came out too, didn't it? Or was that after?
It came out later. A lot later. A couple months down the line.
Shit.
Couple months down the line, we got Donkey Kong Bonanza, but a couple months down the line,
because I was gonna say, like, Donkey Kong Bonanza, like, that was a great game.
Yeah, it's a great game if you wanted to play a Donkey Kong game.
In my opinion, like, looking at that game as an outsider, now the only thing I've watched of that game is a speedrun.
Yeah.
However, that game looks really fun.
It looks fun. I'm not a Mario platformer person, but it looks fun. It looks like they learned better from it.
They learned a lot better. And yeah, to be fair, that is coming from someone who like really enjoyed Odyssey, as opposed to you who was like
I played it through
on Odyssey.
I played it through.
You played it through, but you weren't like, I was definitely a bigger fan of Odyssey than you were.
Oh yeah, 100%. I just remember you and was it Kenya? Kenya who played it? Yeah.
I didn't play it until recently.
Okay. Okay. I remember
Play with
someone talking about it all the time
it
with
was,
Ken all the time.
it was Ken and Nug,
That
I'm
was
fairly
it. That
certain.
was it. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. That's the first time we've name dropped them on the air. Um,
true.
but yeah, so the Switch one launched with apparently Mario Kart and
Yeah,
Breath of the Wild.
yeah,
And it also launched with, they very shortly after that game came out had a giant picture that went around of every game that they were going to be releasing with that for the Switch for the next year, which included
oh,
games
shit.
like Mario Odyssey and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and all of that stuff. They were saying these
Yeah,
are all the series that we are going to have on the Switch ready to go. We are ready to give these to you. And I
yeah.
think we get Xenoblade 2 that year?
Yes, we got Xenoblade 2 in, was
Yeah,
it
same year, 2017.
2017, 2018? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2017.
cuz I got my Switch in 2018
I would have gotten
because of
mine.
Xenoblade.
I would have gotten mine in like around 2017, 2018.
You would
I
have
just
gotten it at like the end of 2017 or like towards the end of 2017. I know I got mine Christmas of 2018.
yeah. I just know I bought my Switch 2 to play Xenoblade, or my Switch 1. My Switch 1. I mean,
Yeah.
you and I both had Switch here.
You bought your Switch 1 to play Xenoblade 2.
Yeah. And they had this big picture and they were ready to go. They were ready to go with everything that they were going to put out. And so far, we are nearly a year after the Switch 2 has launched. Switch 2 launched in, I believe it was May. Switch 2. No, it was June. It was June. June 5th. So we have 6 months until we'll be at 1 year. So we're at 6 months after. Okay. So far from Nintendo, we have Mario Kart, which from a lot of people, myself included, not a great looking Mario Kart.
No,
It,
I'm not a fan of it.
it looks like too much, and it looks like you went from a party game to a skill game. Okay, it looked like a game that I could sit down and play with like little cousins and all that stuff. To like,
it went from a very casual game to that is a game where it's like speedrunner heaven, but casual game hell.
Yeah, because like if you have a single person who is like, oh, I know all the tricks in this course, your little cousin who's playing the game is gonna be pissed off at you trying to play that with him. Yeah. And you don't want to piss off the little cousin. We have Donkey Kong Bonanza, a platformer that I will agree with you looks like a lot of fun. I am super excited about it. I just don't. It's not worth me buying a Switch 2.
No.
We have Kirby Air Riders, which is the only reason I've even looked at a Switch 2. Mm-hmm. Because growing up, Kirby Air Ride was my shit. Problem is from everything I have seen, I have no reason to buy it over me just getting out the GameCube.
True, yeah.
And Metroid Prime 4, which is also a Switch 1 title. Mm-hmm. Oh, and Legend ZA, which is also a Switch 1 title. So in terms of Switch 2 games, you have the 3 games that I just named. Yeah. From Nintendo. Let me clarify that because there is other games, but they also came
from Nintendo. Yes.
There's also like there's DLC for Kirby and the Forgotten Land that I won't get to play because I'm not buying a Switch 2. And there's like 4K upscaling for Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. Yeah. Which, by the way, if you have the Switch expansion pass, don't buy the Switch 2 version or the Switch upgrade pack. It comes free with your fucking Switch Online subscription. So don't buy shit.
Don't waste your money.
But in terms of new games, we've gotten 3 from Nintendo. And then Bravely Default 2, which I just found out or Bravely Default, which is a fucking 3DS game that I can go play right now on my 3DS. Yeah. And that's it. That's all we've got. We have gotten those 3 games. And people, they fucked up Metroid Prime 4 from everything I'm hearing. Instead of being a Metroid game where you are bouncing around to different areas and learning skills and stuff like that, when you're done with an area, you get taken to an open world that's an empty fucking desert that you ride around with a motorcycle. Where the fucking Metroid does that make sense?
I will say this, and again, I don't know much about this because I've not personally played a Metroid game ever.
You've played a Metroidvania,
roommate, I've played Metroidvanias, but I've not played a Metroid game, so I can't speak on Metroid. My roommate is a big Metroid fan,
Yeah.
and to my knowledge, he really likes Metroid Prime 4 because he owns it for his Switch.
Yeah.
He really likes it.
You
He
know,
thinks it's a great game,
good for him.
but
Ask him about the desert.
I will. I will.
Yeah, ask him about the desert. Ask him what he thinks about the desert with the motorcycle. And I could be
Okay,
I could be
I will.
completely wrong because a lot of people may enjoy the thing, but from everything I have seen about it, that seems like a bad idea because Metroid Prime like 1 through 3, you got to explore and find your way to these new areas, not ride a fucking motorcycle.
Yeah, but that also could be a personal opinion thing. Like, and this is a way to kind of take it to a realm that I'm knowledgeable in.
Yeah.
Is like example being in Claire. You brought this up whenever we were going through Claire that you don't really like the open world
No,
or
I don't.
overworld
No, I
design.
don't.
Um, and so you have your own personal opinions on what you would like or dislike. But some people, when they play Metroid, they might see that as, oh, this is different and really enjoy it.
I will say it was funny to me. They came out with an interview from Nintendo where someone
Mhm.
who worked on Metroid Prime 4, they were talking about how people were complaining about the open world section with the motorcycle. And they were
Yeah.
like, "Well, we actually didn't want to do this, but Nintendo wanted us to do it because it was because of like Breath of the Wild be causing people to like really want to do open world games." Which
Oh, yeah.
I I want to I want to modify my whole thing on open world games. I don't mind them sometimes. The problem is the open world games I have played that I have tried to play through really bad with their open world. I'm not counting Breath of the Wild in this. Because Breath of the Wild had a
Okay.
good open world that was really
Yeah,
fun to
Breath
play
of
in.
the Wild had a very good open world.
It was
I
just
will
for
ask
that
this.
one, it was just overwhelming for me. It was just too much.
Yeah, yeah. I will ask this as someone who's played this game for a long time. Did you feel the same about Xenoblade X?
No.
Because that was also an open world.
So the world in Xenoblade X didn't feel like too much to me. There was just nothing compelling me to go forward. I lost interest.
Yeah,
It
it's fair.
wasn't like Xenoblade 1 where you've got the scene that makes you get grabbed and hooked and want to find out where this
Yeah,
takes you.
yeah,
Because they have the scene that takes you through like that took me all the way up through where we are now in the game.
yeah.
And then where we are now in the Let's Play. And
At least as of time of recording, because
as
those
of
episodes haven't come out yet.
but no, I mean the of the ones that came out now,
Oh, yes.
where we're at now is whenever I got hooked again because of what's going on
Like
right now.
where because of like the reveal and all
Yeah,
that.
what's going on right now in
Yeah.
the Let's Play, that is where I suddenly like, I really need to know what's going on now.
That's where you like you re-locked back into the story.
Yeah, lock the fuck back in again. Um
Yeah.
and like I don't mind open worlds when there's shit to do. Problem is that my experience with open world games is Skyrim, where you have no
Yeah.
guiding area. You're just told to basically go do what you want. You
Mhm.
got like a little bit of a quest marker, but you're told to go do what you want. You can take it at your own pace. Don't do that to me.
Mhm.
Breath of the Wild, I had a lot of fun with that one. That is the only open world game where I feel like if it wasn't for the fact that I just don't have any attachment to the Zelda series, I would fucking love that game. But my attachment to the Zelda series starts at Wind Waker and ends at Spirit Tracks. It's just gone after that.
It is the Toon Link saga.
It is the Toon Link saga that hooks me and holds on to me and drags me through hell. Especially in Phantom Hourglass. Fuck that game. And I say that with the most endearing thing of my heart. Fuck that game. But outside of that is Scarlet and Violet, which is the worst open world experience of any fucking game ever, where it's empty the entire fucking time from point A to point B. There's not even a mountain to bring me anywhere. I'm just walking along a pathway.
Yeah.
I guess Xenoblade X, which is fine. It just didn't have
Xenoblade X,
anything for me.
I can see your thing of
I
that.
want a
And
story.
I have very similar. Yeah. That was my roommate was talking about wanting to play Xenoblade X because he's a big like mecha guy.
Yeah.
And I showed him like the skills in Xenoblade X. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'd play that." And I went, "Only play it if you're in it for the gameplay." Because
Yeah.
the gameplay
It's great.
aspect of it is really fun. It has one of the best combat systems in a JRPG that I've played in I don't know if you would even classify it as a JRPG,
It
but
is
an
a
RPG that
JRPG.
I've played in a long time. Well, when I think JRPG, like right now, I'm thinking like I especially think of like Persona, and it is nothing like Persona.
Yeah, it is a
Um,
JRPG though. It is a very
but
heavily involved
but
in,
like
in
it
Japanese
has
styles.
it has one of the best JRPG combats I've ever played.
Yeah.
But if you're in those games, if you want to go into it for the story, do
Don't
not
fucking touch
fucking touch
X.
Xenoblade X.
Yeah,
That
Xenoblade X is
game,
awful for the
the
story.
and now that is coming from someone who, when it comes to the story, I want to experience the story casually. I don't want to go out of my way to do side quests to experience the bulk of the story. And that was Xenoblade X.
Yeah,
Was you do side quests to experience the bulk of the story. And I
yeah.
don't fuck with that. Like, and that was the thing that I liked about Torna was they had required side quests, but they weren't required to understand the story.
Yeah, they were just
The
required
story
to
was
basically
still
make the
given to
story
you
seem like
through
it
the
was longer.
story beats, but it was to give you more of a game.
Yeah.
Like, because otherwise, if you cut out all the side quests in Torna, that game is
That game's
very
very
short.
short. And if you want to
Very
see an
short.
example of that, just look at like Future Connected. Because that game's really
Yeah,
fucking short
Future
and you don't have to
Connected,
do any side
really
quests.
short. You don't have to do any side quests. That you could genuinely my first time ever playing that game, I beat it in 2 days.
Yeah.
Because I paced myself. That was the only reason I beat it in 2 days
It
instead of
took me
one.
longer, but I did all the Nopon prospectors, which is why I'm stuck doing that game.
You did all the pawn specters, and so that's why like I genuinely collected the minimum amount of pawn specters to get chain attacks. That was it.
I collected them all, made that final boss a joke.
Yeah, no, I liked the challenge of the final boss with the way I did it, so I'm not upset at the way I did it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get too much into that because we're gonna play it eventually.
Yeah, we are.
Um,
Eventually, like 2 years from now. It'll be great.
eventually, like 2 years from now.
Okay. Back to Nintendo.
Yes.
So we've been down Metroid, not great. Kirby Air Ride, it's good, but the problem is with it is the fact that Kirby Air Ride exists.
Yeah.
And Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is fine. It's a good. It looks like a good game, but it's not a console seller.
Good game. It is not going to be the reason that, and I don't think anyone would buy a Switch 2 is because of Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah.
I
Now
seriously doubt anyone.
This is coming from someone who main reason for getting a PS5, which I have in front of me right now, is because I have Neptunia games to play on it.
Yeah.
And that's a series that I can play on most fucking consoles.
Yeah.
I don't need a PlayStation 5 for it. But I was like, I wanted to play this one. I want to play this one. And I still can't justify a Switch 2. I can't sit down and do it. There's nothing that makes me, and the biggest thing that still bothers me. Now, this was blown way out of proportions when it came out. Is in their terms of service, they state that they can brick your console at any point in time for any reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
Which is, if you have read the terms of service of Sony or Microsoft, which, by the way, Microsoft
there as well.
I got something funny about Microsoft in a second.
Okay.
Is it is all in there as well. The problem is that Nintendo's the first one to actually fucking do it. Where what is happening is people are buying Switch 2 cartridges or Switch 1 cartridges and dumping the ROMs for them and uploading them online. And then people are taking those ROMs and putting them on their MIG switches, which, by the way, I'm just going to go ahead and say this. We do not condone you doing this. This is piracy.
It is piracy, yes.
But people are taking these and putting them on their MIG switches, so it raises a flag in the system when suddenly there's multiple people playing off the same. There's a single line of code that basically is an identifier token. And people are, and Nintendo's like, multiple people are using this same identifier token of this cartridge. We're going to block that token, and every console that is playing it is now no longer able to function online. Now, online functionality not being able to be played, that should be fine, because you can do, the physical cartridges. It also blocks you from doing any updates or any game key cards. So you can't even play half the fucking games you buy anymore.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. Especially because it doesn't just get the people using the MIG switch.
No.
If someone returns that game after dumping the ROM or sells it to GameStop as a used copy, and someone buys that game, their Switch is now bricked too.
Their Switch is bricked. Yeah.
That is where it becomes a actual fucking problem.
Yeah.
They can do this only on the Switch 2 currently.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the biggest reason why I am waiting for currently the country of Brazil is suing Nintendo for this. And I'm waiting to see where that goes before I decide if I'm going to get a Switch 2. If that makes them stop doing this shit, I'm perfectly fine with it. And in fact, we have seen good information that if you have shown them a picture showing that you purchased this game, they whitelist you to have that SKU and prevent you from being banned and fix the brick, which means it is reversible now. For a while, there was a story going around saying it wasn't reversible.
That's good that they've shown that it's reversible.
Yeah, now it's perfectly fine to be reversible. I got another problem with it, but it's very minor. We're not getting Joy-Con colors like we did on the Switch 1, and I'm a little sad.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
I'm a little sad. I'm a little sad.
That was my favorite thing I think about the Switch 1
is everyone's was different.
Customizability of the Joy-Cons.
Everyone
you
was
could
different.
literally have two completely different Joy-Con sets and be cool. Or you can be like those people who did, like, I know people who've done this personally, where they will import certain sets from Japan, like the Splatoon sets, where the colors are inverted, so they can have two green or two pink Joy-Cons.
And it looks so good.
Really cool to me. And it looks great. But now we just don't have the colors change outside of a little tiny bit of color around the sticks.
Yeah, and that's it, because whenever you have it in your in the console, when you have it in the console, the colors also show up on the
the colors, I get the colors, I'm assuming, show up on like the magnetic thing that goes inside, but you can't see that
when it's docked
in handheld mode. You can't see that when it's docked or in handheld mode. You can only see that when you have the Joy-Cons detached.
And someone pointed this out, and I find it funny because I didn't know they did this and I'm so sorry for that cough. On the one more moment. Okay, we're back. Okay, so on the Switch 2, it's really fucking funny to me. Mm-hmm. Where the rails, the things snap in magnetically onto the thing.
Yes.
The inside of that section is colored like the Joy-Cons that come with the Switch 2. So on the inside of it, if you have them off, it does. They still show red and blue even if you buy these pink and green Joy-Cons.
Wait, but that's really dumb.
So the inside of the console will never match whatever colors you buy. And they really should have made that either gray or made that piece where you can pop a button and it pops out and the new Joy-Cons come with a new color to put in there. Because then that would have been really fucking cool for people like me.
Yeah, like you can show off the internals of your Switch being a
different color now and matching the ones that you have. But they don't, because they made them the colors that come with the Switch 2, which I didn't realize the Switch 2 only has one Joy-Con color you can buy with. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
There's not just a gray color like they did with the Switch 1 because the Joy-Cons are the same color.
That's so dumb. That's so dumb, dude.
Someone pointed that out and I went, that's fucking awful.
That removes the coolest part about the Switch to me, which was the customizability of the console.
They had online customizer so you could pick out colors of Joy-Cons for your Switch.
Yeah.
And they can't do that anymore.
Unless they change the system to be like you can pop out the internals, but they would need to come out with a whole new generation of Switches for that, wouldn't they?
We're going to have a Switch 2 or a Switch 2.1 like they did for the Switch 1 where there's a Switch 1 and a Switch 1.1.
Yeah.
Which gained a bigger battery and fixed the ability to hack it. Which is really funny to me. Yeah. But yeah, it's just I don't like the Switch 2. I really wish I did. And the sad thing is, and you and I will both agree on this, the second there's a Xenoblade game out on it, we're buying it.
Yeah, we have, like, by law, it's required that we have to do that.
The problem is that I'm gonna have to buy new games
especially for me, if they do, like, the Xenosaga games. Like
If they do a
based on how
Xenosaga
it
remake and
release
it's not on the
goes.
Switch One, I'm gonna be pissed.
I will be pissed too, but like if they make it a Switch 2 exclusive, like that is a require. Like I've wanted to play those games for so long.
Yeah, but do you know? Okay, if they make it, and they have shown that they can make beautiful games on the Switch One with Xenoblade 3, 2, and Definitive Edition, and all these wonderful looking
Yeah,
games, and you
and
tell me
X was gorgeous.
you can't make a fucking PS1 game run on a Switch One? Calling you bullshit.
Well, like, but it's not even that. It's them moving past to the new generation of consoles.
And
It's the
the
same thing with Sony. Like when they released God of War Ragnarok, like yeah, they released it for the PlayStation 4, but it just showed like you can release these amazingly stunning games for the last generation of consoles, and they will still run perfectly fine. Why are you stopping doing that for every other game?
Yeah, which is and it just occurred to me they're definitely not gonna release it for the Switch One because Monolith Soft is 100% owned by Nintendo now.
Yeah.
So the Nintendo's gonna be like, hey, you know that game you were working on for the Switch One? Can you like not put that on the Switch
Can you
One?
not do that and
Thanks.
we just do it exclusively on the Switch too because now we own you and we get to
We need
decide
and
what
we
you
need
do
something to sell the fucking consoles. Can you like
and
just
we
give
need
me that,
something to
please?
make the
Thanks.
consoles a selling point. Like, yeah.
We don't even have a fucking Mario game on the console yet. There's not even a Switch 2
No, we
edition of
don't.
Mario Odyssey.
No, that is fucking blasphemous to me, by the way. Like you give us Switch 2 versions of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. That's
Which all it
great.
does is 4K 60. Which, by
Yeah,
the
but
way, I don't think
that's
the
fine.
Switch 2 needed that.
It didn't need it, but that's fine. Okay, those are two games where I'm like, okay, that's great. Thank you for putting those as Switch 2 versions. That is a great upgrade, especially for me as a Breath of the Wild fan, because it's less of the oh, it's 4K 60. It's more that well, now it's become something that can run fine on those consoles. Like I loved seeing that like the Korok Forest actually runs at a smooth frame rate on the Switch 2 versions.
You know,
That was
we're the
wonderful.
entirety of Scarlet and Violet finally running normally.
However, the selling point of the Switch One for me for a good while, outside of Xenoblade, was Mario Odyssey because that game looked great, its speed ran great, that was a great game. And you don't give us a Switch 2 version for that game?
No, but we'll give you a Switch
And
2
the
version
Switch
of Kirby.
2 and the Switch 2 has been a console for months.
They don't
And
have like
you
any
don't have
announcements.
a Mario game on your Switch 2 yet.
And the sad
What
thing is
the
with
fuck?
what's going on now with like RAM prices and stuff, we're actually expecting the Switch 2 to get more expensive this year.
I don't like it. I don't like any of
If
this.
they,
I don't like any of
I'm
this.
gonna be honest with you, dude. If they announce that the Switch 2 prices are going up at any point in time, where they're like, hey, we gotta upload this to like $600, I'm buying a Switch 2 that day for the MSRP of $450, and I'm biting the bullet.
Yeah, but at that point, bite the bullet. That's
At
fine.
that point,
Like, do
I'm
that.
like, fuck it. At this point, I knew I was gonna get it anyway. I'm saving the 150. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck
Fuck you,
you.
Nintendo.
That is bullshit. I hate the whole like RAM PC part prices going insane right now.
We're
It's
expecting the
I fucking
graphics
hate it.
cards to hit $5,000.
Dude, like the I don't I learned about that whenever I was literally in the thought of, well, when do I want to upgrade my GPU? Because my GPU is great. It works great for every game I want to play right now and
Keep
every
what
game
you
I plan
fucking
to play in
have.
the future. I know, but that's what I'm saying. Eventually, I was like, well, maybe I could upgrade. What should I look at? And then I heard the Nvidia,
And
was it the
AMD.
5090 and AMD? But at the time, it was whenever I heard about it, it was I was at work and my roommate was like, hey, did you hear about Nvidia? And I was like, what happens with Nvidia? And they were like, yeah, the 5090 is going to like $5,000. And I
Yeah.
went, what?
Yeah.
Fucking what?
And it has been almost confirmed. Basically, Asus got a memo saying, hey, price is going up. Expect. I'm like, what the fuck? Because me being who I am, I just upgraded my GPU. I just went from a 2070 Super to a 3080. And that was just because I
Yeah.
was running low on VRAM. I haven't even noticed a difference in any of the games I play but that's because most of my games are CPU heavy. And I just recently learned that a BIOS update had fucked my CPU's performance, and now I'm running great.
Yeah.
But I it upsets me to no end to know that like the only way to build a, and I'm glad that there is at least an option. The only way to build an affordable PC right now is DDR4 going back a platform to either Intel. I don't recommend 13th or 14th gen, or so 12th gen, or Ryzen. I think it's 5th gen and back. That's AM4, and use DDR4.
Yes.
And then buy your GPU used. Or if you want to get a new one, Intel makes GPUs now that are actually really fucking good.
Yeah.
The Arc cards are ridiculously good for how cheap they are. Especially seeing as how the one we've had for the longest time now, which is the 5800 or 580, whatever it's called, is fucking $250 still. I think it's like $260 now, but like still, even with the prices going up on RAM. Now, granted, we're expecting it to go up. Especially with that finally getting its 700 soon. But I am glad that there is at least an option for people to build things cheap.
Yeah,
and I am sorry to
and
anyone
it's not
who
even
wanted to
like
build
there's
an
a
NVIDIA
crazy, and it is like not even like there's a crazy performance drop by dropping to like DDR4 or going back a couple of generations CPU wise. Like there is not a crazy astronomical
I mean,
like
there's a difference.
hindrance. There's a difference, but there's not a hindrance.
Yeah.
Like you could still have a PC like that and run a game like
Pretty
I don't
well.
know what's Black Myth Wukong. You could run Black Myth Wukong. Not great, but you could run it.
You run it at probably 50 to 60 frames, I think. If you lower your
Yeah.
okay, expect to lower your settings. You do not need to be running at ultra.
No. I don't think there is a single game where, in my opinion, even as someone who loves stunning games like Black Myth Wukong,
Yeah.
there is not a single game where I could justify running at like ultra settings or the highest graphical. I run most of my games on medium to low settings out of preference.
There's only one game that
Like,
I've ever
because-
set it to ultra,
and that is
Witchspring R.
Yeah, it's fair. Like
That game runs beautifully.
But that game also isn't like built like a brick shithouse. Like that
No,
thing
it's
isn't.
a tiny cutesy RPG that I love to death.
Yeah, you can run that at ultra. You could like. I'm surprised you didn't run fucking Kibby Keeper at ultra. Like that.
Kibby Keeper didn't have any graphical settings.
Oh, that's fair.
That game didn't
But,
have shit other than me running around with little cutesy creatures that we named the Boulder.
That game had nothing but pillar.
Oh yeah, no, it was
It was pillar.
Pillar. It wasn't Boulder, it was Pillar.
No, Boulder was Pikmin 3.
Yeah, Boulder's Pikmin 3.
But man,
Still never found out
like
what we named the yellows on what.
No, I still have no. I know we named the Red Steve.
Yeah, we named them after Chugga Conroy's Let's
Play.
Play.
They've been Steve since Pikmin 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I still don't know what we called the yellows. I've been tempted to just call them Lemon because I'm a big Backlogs fan, and
Backlogs is awesome
fitting.
though.
Backlogs is fucking awesome. I love the Backlogs. I don't know, man. We have derailed this conversation in so many ways, but also we've stayed on topic for most of this.
Yeah.
And it is so funny. I went into this thinking that like, oh, I have like a couple things I want to talk about. No, I don't need to. We've already been recording this podcast for like almost an hour and a half. Holy shit.
All we needed to do was bitch about Nintendo, talk about Jake Paul.
All we needed to do was bitch about Nintendo. Well,
Jake
dude,
Doherty.
the fucking the Jack Doherty and Jake Paul the shenanigans went on for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. And then I could rant
Like,
about
I
Pokemon for
didn't-
apparently a fucking hour.
Yeah, well, 2 technically, because you already had your Pokemon Sword and Shield rant.
Yeah. I think all of that was about a game that I praised last time I recorded.
Yeah, you praised the first hour.
I just want a Pokemon game to be good again. I want a Pokemon game I can bring on the channel again and go, look at this, it's so fun!
I just want a Pokemon game that I'm excited for. Like, there has genuinely not been a Pokemon game where I've looked at that and went, yeah, no, I'd absolutely play that. I just look at it and like,
recommend is Legends Arceus. The only one I ever recommend is Legends Arceus. I
The
don't
only
recommend anyone
Pokemon
plays any
game-
other fucking Pokemon games that Pokemon made.
the only Pokemon game that I have ever looked at and went, "Yeah, no, I wanna play this," was Pokemon Emerald. That was it.
Yeah. I do
That
still
was
think you
fucking
need to
it.
play Black and White and Black White 2.
I've played, Black and White 2.
It's a good game. It's a very good game.
Yeah.
Um,
Was it very or no, I played Black White 1, I didn't play Black White 2.
Black White 2 is a sequel to Black White 1, takes place right after. You really should
Yeah,
play it. Um,
I should.
I do want to mention this because I mentioned it earlier and I want to correct myself. There is 2 other Pokemon games that the Pokemon Company did not make.
Mm.
And they are also some of the best Pokemon games ever made. And they are ones that I will definitely be playing at some point on the channel. Either this one, or on my channel, or on something.
Mhm.
Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD Gale of the Darkness was made by the same people who make Dragon Quest.
I would be very interested in watching you play Gale of Darkness because I've seen that game and I'm like, that's an interesting
I
looking game.
have beaten Gale of Darkness almost to 100%. And I have wanted to play Coliseum. I have never played Coliseum. Coliseum is the prequel to Gale of Darkness, so I would play that one first because it takes place first. But
Mm.
that one is made by, if I'm pretty sure it's made by the same company who made, I think it's Dragon Quest. Is Dragon Quest the one with the slime?
Yes.
Okay, I believe it's Dragon Quest. Gale of Darkness developer. I don't actually know if this is you or not. I don't remember this company. Yeah, it's a company that spin off of the original Dragon Quest series.
Oh, okay, I see.
And they actually still make games today. They made one last year called the Denpa Men RPG, and then before that they made Pokemon Cafe Remix. They make a lot of the Pokemon
Okay.
spin-off games.
Yeah.
But their first game was Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD Gale of the Darkness. And if I remember the story correctly, those were actually made behind Pokemon Company and Game Freak's back. Nintendo pushed for them, and Game Freak didn't want that
Really?
happening.
I had
Now
no
that is
idea
a
about
story that I have heard. I don't know if it's true or not. But from
Yeah.
what I recall, Pokemon Gale of the Darkness, Pokemon XD, and Pokemon Coliseum were made without the blessing of Game Freak. They did not want that coming out.
Interesting.
But yeah, it was really fucking funny to me that they did that.
That is
Yeah,
very funny.
that I don't have anything else to say about Pokemon. I think I got everything off my chest until Pokemon Day this year, because that's this year too. What day is Pokemon Day?
I'm not sure.
Pokemon Day is February 27th. So in
The
like
only thing
in like 2 months, we'll have another one of these where I can bitch
cool.
or be happy. Maybe I'll learn we're getting a Legends Arceus 2, and then actually I'll probably be pissed because it'll be a Legends Arceus 2 instead of a new fucking game.
You know, I don't know where I'm going with this. I genuinely I was thinking that this like the Pokemon and the Nintendo rant was going to take like 45 minutes and like I could go into a little bit of stuff, but nothing that I had to go like too in detail about.
Yeah.
Um I I know exactly what I was going to say.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's no point in fucking talking about it.
I want to hear about it though. So come on, lay it on me.
No. No.
No, saving it for the next one.
No. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or off the podcast cuz that'll be even funnier.
Nah, save it for the next one.
See
Fuck
you
you
guys then.
guys.